Hey everybody. So before I send y'all off to the real episode, I gotta say, this episode was supposed to drop yesterday, but we had some technical difficulties that made it delay today. And all that means is we recorded this before Game 2 of Lakers versus Nuggets, so our opinions on that series are a bit outdated, but since the Nuggets won anyways, it doesn't make a huge difference, so I'm just gonna let it ride. Yeah, enjoy the episode. It is Wednesday, May 17th. We've seen exactly one game of both conference final series, and I want to start the show by saying, without a doubt, Nikola Jokic is the best player in the NBA.
Yeah, he got that.
Yeah,
He got that.
I think it's about time. To Mo's credit, he said this early in the season. He ranked him number one above Giannis, and me and Donovan were both like, you got to give it to Giannis at this point, like until somebody else earns it. And for those who don't know, Nuggets won Game 1 of the series. Jokic averaged 30-point triple-double in the last round, and he came out in Game 1 and cooked the Lakers. I don't know how we don't give it to him.
He got This man had 19, 16, and 7 in the first half against
ridiculous.
AD. Like
2K.
Nah, he got it. He's
and we've been talking about
absolutely, bro. Like, go ahead and talk about Isaac.
Bro, we've been talking about AD as like a defensive messiah all playoffs, saying he's the best defensive player in the league right now, and it's not close. He had nothing for Jokic one-on-one. Nothing.
Yeah. Way too physical. And when you put him around that close to the rim, as soon as he gets his positioning, like his touch is that crazy where there's literally nothing that you can do. He can put anybody in the blender. Like a lot of people over here talking about, like, you know, if you're building your prototypical defender for Nikola Jokic, oh, it looks like Anthony. There's no one. If you're building a prototypical defender for Jokic, it's the Grim Reaper. It's God. It's someone who can strike him down.
Yeah, it's Tim Duncan, I guess. Like, it has to be somebody that's, the problem with AD is, as good as he doesn't have the size to be able to like stop Jokic from getting into his spots. No one does, because nobody is 300 pounds while also being nimble and also having length and defensive instincts. Like, that player comes around once every 20 years, and his name is Hakeem Olajuwon. Like, It's impossible to stop this man. And before we get too sidetracked on the Jokic praise, we got to talk about this series in general and what you guys are thinking after one game. But before we get into that, as always, if you guys are watching on YouTube, do us a favor, drop a like and subscribe. If you're on audio platforms, rate us 5 stars, follow on those. Follow us on all of our socials. You see them on the screen right now if you're on YouTube, all of us on Twitter. Got that out of the way. Okay, so first off, who do you think is going to win Nuggets versus Lakers? We never got a chance to do our official predictions.
I had Nuggets in 7 to start. I thought that they were going to be I wanted to give the Lakers a little bit more respect than I've been giving them up until this point in the playoffs, but I've thought that Denver was going to make it out the West since the start of the playoffs. I think that they're the better team. Jokic is him, right? We just gave him the crown as best player in the world, and they haven't had a game this entire postseason where they've looked like bad. All of their losses, something crazy has had to happen. They came back, even the game that they were down 12 against Minnesota, they were able to come back. And if Jokic makes a free throw, they win that game in regulation. And then the 2 games they lose to the Suns, Devin Booker had to shoot 80% for them to get for them to get those games. So unless the Lakers are on fire, I don't see a way that they can keep up offensively with Denver and and beat them in 7 games. So I'll take them.
Okay.
Yeah. For me, I want to say the Nuggets, but it would not surprise me whatsoever if the Lakers do win, because LeBron looked really, really, really good last night. Maybe it's because like his primary defender for a chunk of the time being was Jamal Murray, and that's just like a mismatch from hell. But overall, I just think that the Nuggets have everything going their way. Like, I don't imagine D'Angelo Russell having a good series on a consistent basis. You may like have to rely on Rui Hachimura and also Jared Vanderbilt, who have like proven to, be reliable and just come out of nowhere, at least Rui Hachimura in the playoffs. But I just think that the Nuggets, it just this is so hard. Like it can literally go either way. It can go either way. But my gut and the respect in me says the Nuggets. But I will not be surprised whatsoever if the Lakers, with all the insane adjustments that they're able to make and the flexibility that they have, I think in terms of just like the amount of adjustments that they can make, supersedes what the Denver Nuggets can do. So that's the only reason why like I'm just like not 110% sold, but I'm like 99% sold with the Nuggets.
That's fair. Before the series, I was going to it. I had talked myself into Lakers in 6 or 7. I think. Okay, so we're gonna get into specifics of this game, but I think either way you go, whatever you thought going into the series shouldn't change based on this first game. I'll say that
for sure.
So I'm gonna try to fight against the overreaction to Game 1 and stick with my Lakers take. But Game 2 is gonna tell me everything I need to know. If the Nuggets come out and win Game 2, I'm fairly certain they're gonna win the series. But right now, I'll stick with Lakers. Let's talk specifically about what we saw in this first game. We talked about Jokic was absolutely eating. Donovan, you mentioned the Nuggets offense just looked unfuckwittable.
Yeah.
Which is like, something we've seen all playoffs.
Yeah.
It's interesting because as a Lakers fan, I didn't leave it entirely dissuaded. You know what I mean? I think there's some reasons to be a little bit optimistic. Mo said LeBron looked great. LeBron looked great. I feel like the first two series we talked about, is he injured or is he saving his energy? I think now we know it's probably a little bit of both because it looked like he was running fast every single play. He was actually trying and asserting himself as a ball handler.
Yeah.
Which was one is an energy thing. Two, I think the Warriors were a switching team. So when they run pick and rolls with LeBron and AD, they're going to switch it, and LeBron's not going to attack somebody one-on-one every play. But the Nuggets can't switch the LeBron AD pick and roll. They have to either go over or under the screen, which allows LeBron to actually get penetration, use his passing, get to the rim. So I think naturally we're going to see a better LeBron this series.
Yeah, exactly.
You got it. You got it, Mo.
No, you go ahead.
I think that there's a couple things, and I'm with you, Isaac. I think that there's a couple things for the Lakers that leave you encouraged, but at the same time, those same things are also why I would be a little bit discouraged. AD ended.
Tell us what the encouraging things are first.
Well, it's the same thing. The thing is that LeBron looked great, and AD had 40 and 10, and you end up losing, and you were down a lot very early. Like they had to come back.
Sure.
They had to come back from 20, and for them, if LeBron is on his game and AD again had 40 and 10, and you are playing from behind, I would be a little bit discouraged because it's like if that doesn't happen every single game, then what are we doing? The flip side is, AD had 40 and 10. And LeBron looked really good, and that wasn't something that you saw every single game in that Warriors series. And I think that contributed because the Warriors, while I thought I thought they were going to win that series, and I expected a lot more from them. But part of that was because of the variance that we've seen from the Lakers, and I hadn't seen LeBron give 100% effort. I hadn't seen LeBron look great up until that point in the playoffs. If he does that this series, I think the Lakers have a much better chance. So it's a two-sided coin, and I think that they can certainly hang their hats on the fact that they were able to find success with their two main guys against Denver.
Yeah, and I don't really see that changing. I think AD eating is not just a hot AD game. It shows you that this team isn't equipped to stop Anthony Davis like the Warriors were with Draymond Green and Kevon Looney, or like the Grizzlies were with Jaren Jackson Jr. For everything the Nuggets do well, defending big men that can eat at the rim is not one of them, Mm-hmm. And same thing with LeBron. They're not a switching defense that can prevent LeBron from getting penetration. Once LeBron gets by his man and is in the open court, in the half court, attacking the rim, able to use his passing or finishing, he's going to eat no matter what, no matter how old he is. And you mentioned they got down big early. I think that was because of a big mistake in the beginning. They started the game small. They started Dennis and tried to turn the game into a track meet, which was fucking dumb against the best offensive team. But they started to come back in the game late because they went big, started Rui Hachimura for the second half, and they found something interesting with Rui guarding Jokic and then Anthony Davis on Aaron Gordon to come be the help defender and kind of muck things up in the paint. You could argue the Nuggets have time to adjust to that now, and maybe the Lakers showed their hand. But I think it's probably more encouraging sign going forward that there's a way to stop this team.
I think that's been overplayed, though.
But my thing, though, even just looking at the Nuggets roster, how can you adjust to, the Lakers playing a little bit bigger? Now, I said this last podcast. I don't think that we knew 100% if the Lakers are going to play the Nuggets, and we just made up some scenarios or whatever. And, what I said about the Lakers and how they faced off in the 2020 in the bubble or whatever, and the series went to 5, and I was mainly hinting about, if the Lakers are going to do this, they're going to need to do a lot of the similar things, but they do not have as many big-ass bodies like they did. Yeah. They didn't have Dwight Howard, who's in Taiwan right now. They didn't have JaVale McGee, who's Lord knows what's going on with JaVale McGee. They had so many options. And right now, they're so much smaller than what they were. And just having big-ass trees in the paint to just have hands up to cause some type of dysfunction helps a hell of a lot. And I don't know how much, if they're going to win, they're going to have to win in a completely different way. And I think they do have a lot more offensive firepower compared to the early 2020 Laker or the 2020 Laker championship team.
Yeah, that's fair.
So Darvin Ham is going to have to absolutely be in his bag. And he did do that in the second half, like you guys said and alluded to. So this is every basketball nerd's this is basketball nerd heaven right now.
Oh, for sure. Darvin Ham versus Mike Malone is two coaches that know how to adjust and do creative things with versatile lineups. It's gonna be great. You mentioned they have to win differently. I 100% agree. I think it's less going to be about beating them with size in the paint and bludgeoning them to death. It's going to be more about beating them with perimeter length. They have to bring Jared Vanderbilt back into the fold, which is tough because they didn't start him and play him a lot because, on one hand, if he's in the game, your defense is really good, and you have this really versatile wing defender who can switch on to Nikola Jokic, maybe start defending him. He can guard Aaron Gordon. He can contest MPJ's height. But on the other side of the court, they're going to ignore him completely, and he's going to destroy your spacing. Well, he has to take corner threes over and over again, which you don't want. But if you don't have him, you're way too small, and the Nuggets run down your throat like we saw in the first quarter of the last game. So it's kind of die by one. You pick which side of the court you're going to die by. So maybe that's where Rui Hachimura comes into play as somebody who's tall and can shoot. And Donovan, going back to you mentioned they went down big early in the first quarter.
Yeah.
Why do you think they went down big? What did you see as the biggest weakness that they folded earlier, besides the size?
Well, they couldn't rebound the basketball all game.
Yep.
And they were getting dominated on the board, a product of going small, right? That's what happens whenever you sub out shooters.
A product of Jokic being a god.
Yeah, that too. But if you can't rebound the basketball and your transition defense is trash, and you're playing against the best offense with the point center who sees absolutely everything, and Michael Porter Jr. running down one side and Jamal Murray running down the other, you're gonna get dotted up. It's just it's gonna happen. And so that was the worst start for the Lakers in terms of game plan. I thought that they had to lean in to their offensive side, but after game one, I really think they're probably just gonna have to eat it and start Vando. I think they have to. You have to go all in on your defensive identity, and you're gonna have to try and slow down Denver and minimize the amount of offensive possession that they have. So I think Vando and Rui end up getting a lot more minutes. I mean, Rui ended up playing 28 minutes. Dennis played 32. We'll probably see that a little bit less in game two. Vando played 10. I expect at least 15, 17 minutes from him. But yeah, they have to try something. And like you said, that's the main adjustment that they have. And also, for all this talk about Rui, Rui and the Jokic shopper and they being the key to this.
People said that?
It was floating around. God. But being the key to the scheme.
You got incels on your timeline. I didn't see that once.
You know what I'm saying? I'm saying Rui being the key to the scheme to slow down Jokic.
Yeah.
That's
allowing AD to be off ball.
Yes. That's going to get exposed. I think Jokic, if you give Jokic 24 hours to figure out, hey, how am I going to score and how am I going to attack Rui Hachimura at the point of attack and then figure out what happens after that, he's going to be just fine.
Let's talk about that because I think that's interesting. Two things. First, one thing I want to get back to that you just mentioned is the reason they went down early. They couldn't rebound for shit and their transition defense was terrible. Those two things being bad at the same time is ridiculous. Because we're saying now they need to improve both those things, which is hard. Because you can either have your perimeter players crash the boards and make sure you don't get out rebounded, or have them focus on getting back in transition. You kind of got to pick one to focus on. The Lakers didn't do either. They were just terrible at both of them. What are you focusing on then? If you're not getting down low or getting back,
it's that out to
what are you looking at?
That was one of the first things that Darvin Ham called out in his press conference, right after the Denver Nuggets got a defensive rebound. D'Lo standing. Dennis Schroeder ball watching, Anthony Davis not being as attentive to the rim as he should be. So, but those things are super easy and super fixable.
Yeah,
and so that's why I'm not panicking over here. I'm not a Lakers fan or whatever. I'm not panicking and thinking that the series is cooked whatsoever. And it's literally neck and neck. Like,
yeah,
bro, I was sitting down watching the TV and I was on Twitter while also watching the Deep 3 live on TikTok. Tune in, follow. I think we're doing her back. Do your thing. But I was on the live stream. Next thing you know, I go ahead and see that fucking Austin Reeves hit a 3 to cut the game like to, I don't know, 6-8 or something like that.
Yeah.
And it just happened in the blink of an eye. Yeah.
3-point game.
Yeah, that's absolutely crazy. After all the chaos that Jokic is causing, and so like if they just clean up all the little things, like it's not as simple as that, like cleaning up all the little things, but if they were to just give more hustle and effort and be more attentive, they probably would have won that game. And if like Jokic didn't hit a dumbass like step back 3 and Jamal Murray didn't hit like those crazy, like they were just on one. That was their night to win.
For sure. I think that probably comes down to D'Angelo Russell probably playing a whole lot less because he's a defensive liability and they're attacking him. Michael Malone was in his press conference talking about playing D'Lo off the court, trying to get in his head. I think it'll work. I think D'Lo's going to be irrelevant.
How you let KCP get off 9 for 17? That's crazy, dude.
Nah, he was getting work. And then 4 of 11 on the other side is also not helpful
at all. Going back to what Donovan said, you were saying that the Rui Hachimura addition to the lineup, being able to stop Jokic, you think they're going to be able to expose that? I think it's really easy to say that because Rui can't fucking hold Jokic. It's not going to be, he's not the defensive mastermind that's going to slow him down. I think it's easy to say because what we saw was happening was Anthony Davis was helping off of Aaron Gordon, and Aaron Gordon wasn't shooting the corner threes and was mucking up their offense. So everyone's saying, oh, okay, well, he'll shoot those threes or he'll sit in the dunker spot, and that'll be how they defeat it. I don't really think it's that simple. I think everyone keeps saying they're going to move Aaron Gordon down to the dunker spot, so when Anthony Davis helps off of him to Jokic, they dump it off to him, and Aaron Gordon gets open dunks. That sounds to me like exactly what the Lakers want. So they're going to come down to the point where Jokic is able to cook Rui, but then you have Anthony Davis coming over to help, and how do you punish him for helping with the lineup? Are they going to play Jeff Green in the corner? That's what Draymond Green was saying on his podcast, is that they should put Draymond Green in there instead of Aaron Gordon because Draymond Green can hit corner threes. Fucking okay. Are you gonna let Jeff Green shoot corner threes?
Jeff Green?
Jeff Green? Like, I don't know. What's the move that they can do tactically to not let Anthony Davis ignore Aaron Gordon?
It's not
just about Jokic,
Yeah. Listen, you guys sleep on I'm saying sleep, but like in the Warriors series, if you would have said, oh, well, we're just going to use JaMychal Green, we would have had the same reaction. And you know what I'm saying? Like, you would have laughed at Steve Kerr and like, oh, yeah, JaMychal Green's going to be the answer. And for a game,
it wasn't.
For a game, it was. For that second game, if you're just talking about game-to-game adjustments, obviously, if they make that move, Darvin Ham's going to come back. He's going to figure something out, and it's just chess match. But if we're just talking about going into game 2, Jeff Green in the corner is a very viable option. I think in terms of if you want to have shooting there, what I think that Denver should do, and they ran it a couple of times, but when they run pick and roll with Jokic, they should lower it down, right? Because we saw a couple of times where Jokic made really quick moves out of the post. And so if you have Rui there, if that action starts lower and Jokic is making quicker moves, it's going to force Anthony Davis to be reactive and to put out that fire as quick as possible. And so if we're talking about a split-second decision, I'm trusting Jokic to make that pass every single time. So I think, we've seen Murray and Jokic run this pick and roll all the time, and it's normally like around the foul line. Jokic has been able to get going downhill, get floaters. I think that's still going to be there, but they should focus on him getting post touches and working lower out of everything.
Yeah, that's smart. Yeah, there's just less room at that point for Anthony Davis to come over and help.
Yeah,
especially if he's starting the position in the corner on a shooter, you just don't have so much space to rotate. That's smart. One other thing is, how'd y'all feel about Jamal Murray in this game?
He was good. He was good.
His bag.
I think the Lakers made it so fucking easy for him to cook in this game. Because the way they're defending, Anthony Davis was obviously defending Jokic. When they did these dribble handoffs, Dennis Schroeder had to try to get over the screens. And Nikola Jokic's big, wide ass sets these hard-ass screens. Dennis got caught in them every single time. And AD was so terrified of Jokic cooking that he refused to leave him. So it just resulted in a wide-open Jamal Murray shot every time he got a dribble handoff. And, I get why that's difficult because you can't leave Jokic open in any capacity. But if you let Jamal Murray walk into an open pull-up shot every single play, he's going to make them a lot. So
Jamal
I don't know
Murray is going to cook this series. Like, he's going to get his numbers and all that stuff. But
you kind of have to let him, though.
Exactly. You don't want to bend and shift your entire defense to focus on how do we stop by Jamal Murray. You can't do that. I think, like...
I don't know. That's what concerns me the most as a Lakers fan. I think they can find a way to neutralize Jokic a little bit with putting Vandorri on him and having AD's help. But that's where we get into the thing that KCP just said in his press conference yesterday, that he's the same guy as LeBron, just with less athleticism, where even if you find a way to sell out and not let him score, he will pick you apart with a perfect pass every time. And I think they have so much lethal shot making with Jamal Murray, Michael Porter Jr., the cutting of Aaron Gordon, KCP, that I don't know how they're going to be able to stop all of that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So do you go to the strategy where you say, Jokic, you can have 50 every single night, but you're only going to get 7 assists, instead of your regular
only
12.
50 and 7.
I know, right? I know. But is that the move where you say, like, hey, KCP, there's no way you're getting up 17 shots tonight. Michael Porter Jr., there's no way that you're coming out here and you're dropping 20 tonight. We will let Jokic kill us to death on twos, but we're not letting the Nuggets win in terms of like field goal attempts and buckets and the math. That's not going to happen.
Maybe. I don't think you can so some teams that make sense. If this was the Celtics, they'd probably do that because they have so much offensive firepower that they know the Nuggets aren't going to be able to stop them back. So maybe you try to neutralize them and have them score 100 a game and you're going to score 110 because you had that kind of offense. Mm-hmm. I don't think the Lakers have that identity. They're not the Warriors, they're not going to outshoot you. They have to win by mucking you up on defense. And I don't know if letting Jokic score 50 points is a way to go to great defense. You know what I mean? But I don't know what the answer is, though. So maybe that's what they have to do. You're right. I don't know.
Well, this is why we're just podcasters on our off hours instead of NBA coaches. So... Yeah, there's just so many there's so many layers to this entire thing, and there's a reason why these two teams made the Western Conference Finals. They were the best two teams in that conference, which is still like insane to me right now, just to even like repeat that. The Lakers, they have ways to go with this, and there's so many options, and it's literally a chess game. It's literally a chess game, and I'm here for it.
Yeah, it's gonna be a great series. Two really smart coaches. Looking back, I can't believe that like Lakers Twitter all season was like wanting to fire Darvin Ham. Like, look how far we've come.
It's the pressure of being in LA and having a whole bunch of fans that never showed up before 2019 and they don't know basketball and stuff like that. That's what happens.
People just don't know what coaches do. It's crazy.
One random thing that I want to say is that Aaron Gordon, this has to be his series because so much like the Lakers, he's the target. He's someone that they're trying to eliminate. Like we already saw what they're trying to do when they've been doing with Aaron Gordon, put him in the Duggar spot and whatnot. And now now there's ways around that. And now you're trying to sub out AG minutes for Jeff Green minutes and stuff like that. He has to hone in and be more of a consistent offensive threat. Do whatever he does on defense. That's cool. That's great, of course, and super valuable. But he's easily like, I don't want to say the weak link, but he's easy to exploit, And over his last 6 playoff games, he shot 40% from the field and 23% from the 3-point line. That's terrible. He's been wildly inconsistent, but he does a lot of the other small things. That's why it's like, okay, you don't want him. He's not there to like, score 20 points a night or anything like that. But in moments like these, like this is it,
Yeah, for sure.
The NBA playoffs are here, so that means that you should get in on the action with Underdog Fantasy, the best and easiest way to play fantasy sports online. You can play on the app or you can play online, and all you have to do is hit higher or lower on your favorite or least favorite players' entries for the night. And if you get up to 5 correct stats on one entry, you can win up to 20 times your money in a single night of hoops. Now listen, there's a game a night. You can make an entry every single night. And if you sign up today with promo code TD3, Underdog will double your first deposit up to $100, which is free money to keep making more winning entries. So again, sign up today with promo code TD3 and get playing with Underdog Fantasy tonight.
Do you guys want to talk about the game that we just finished watching, actually? The Eastern Conference Finals, Game 1?
Let's do it. Let's get into this.
That was a good game.
I'm ready for this.
We're recording this on Wednesday night, directly after Celtics versus Heat ended. we don't even have we just instant reactions. We haven't even had time to think about it really. Like we started recording right after the game ended. So for those who don't know, the Miami Heat came out and stole Game 1 in Boston. And at this point, I'll go out here and say my prediction first. I'm not going to predict the Heat will lose a single game until they do. At this point, against all logic, they win every single game, and I just don't know how to think about them in any way besides that they're going to win, and I don't know why.
That's funny.
Well, they are insane for that.
A Heat sweep from Isaac. Gotcha.
Sure. I just know that the Heat have no talent, but 100% dog in them, and they're never going to lose a game because of it.
What an elite synopsis.
They win with pure grit. They get it out the mud every play. They just want it bad enough, and they always get it.
Exactly. They're quite literally like, you remember them mid-2000s Memphis Grizzlies? Same exact vibes. Less talent. Way less talent than those teams. And they're just like... and Eric Spoelstra is putting up a masterclass every single night. Yeah, I know. He can make, dude. Honestly, Isaac, I heard you were trash at basketball. You could be putting up 15 points right now for the Miami Heat. Donovan, you would be the Tatum stopper. I'd be a sniper.
Max Strus might just be a tall white Donovan. Like he's just a guy. He's turning into a sharpshooter.
Yeah, exactly. Eric Spoelstra, he got the touch.
All right. Listen, we will post a TikTok of us playing basketball one day. All right, y'all see.
Yeah, man.
I'm taking Miami in 6 in this one though.
Miami in 6, okay.
Miami 6. I got it. I had a game time decision. I said on the stream yesterday that I had no idea where I wanted to go. Everything in me was saying that like Boston is the better team on paper, right? They have all these offensive weapons. But like you said, Miami just has that dog in them, and Jimmy Butler just refuses to let people lose. And I'm picking the Heat in 6. I can't trust Boston at all. After the series that they had last year against Miami, where they probably should have won in 5, when it was Jimmy Butler, Tyler Hero was out with a groin injury, Kyle Lowry had like 5 good minutes in the entire series, and that came down to a Jimmy Butler pull-up 3 with like 20 seconds to go. You have all of that. There was a couple moments in the Philly series where I thought that they should have played better, right? They should have came out, they should have executed, but still, they still didn't have it. And just with their play style, and we can transition to everything that happened tonight. Their play style invites a lot of variance, and so whether that comes with the amount of threes that you make, with the amount of threes that you take, I don't know what I'm getting offensively every night from Boston. And so like that's why tonight they shot 29 threes. The Heat shot 31. And they only made 10 threes tonight. They were down, they lost the 3-point battle by 18 points. It's stuff like that where you lost game 1, you lost home court. You know Tatum's going to have a stinker this series. Right? And Miami's probably going to capitalize. So that's already 2 games. You're probably going to have another game where the whole team just can't shoot, even if you get 40 points up, 43s up. That's 3 games. And so now you're just asking the Heat, hey, can you go out and win 1 game again? And I think that they can do it.
Yeah. Mo, where are you sitting on this matchup?
I'm one to believe that the Boston Celtics, I had them, ironically enough, like losing last series. I can't believe I put my faith into that blue team.
Me neither.
I don't even want to say their name, bro.
We'll get to them later. We'll fire their asses up later.
We'll get to them later, but I don't think the Boston Celtics can get away this series with having wild inconsistencies. You're not going to have the same opportunities that Atlanta and also Philadelphia especially gave you. Like once you're in the ground, you're gonna be buried like 6 feet deep by a team as cerebral as the Miami Heat, and they're just gonna waste no time. Like they cannot afford too many Tatum stinkers, which will like inevitably like happen. They cannot afford to shoot 10 3 or make only 10 threes out of 29. Like they just can't afford none of that. They need to be on their P's and Q's if you seriously want to beat this Miami Heat team. And bro, I don't even know what to say like when it comes to X's and O's and schematics, because when it comes to the Miami Heat, they're just like they get the most out of everyone, They get every ounce of your potential. Max Strus is looking like 6'10", Klay Thompson. What the hell is going on, bro?
It's just like the team is just a great defensive center, an unstoppable wing who gets into the paint and creates open shots for others nonstop, and a lot of undrafted, gritty ass men who want it more than everybody else hitting those open threes.
And then there's Kevin Love. What the hell?
Then you have the Calvin Klein model who throws passes across the court. Like,
Yeah,
this is
exactly.
incredible.
God, man.
Nah, they're disgusting. They're disgusting.
And it's so weird because they're not disgusting. Look at the
No,
names
they
on paper.
are.
and-
What do you-
No, but they are.
Yeah.
I agree. But they're not. But they are. Like they shouldn't be. But
What
they do
makes the
not
Miami Heat
lose.
special to you guys?
Eric Spoelstra is a genius, and what that looks like is you say he's getting the most out of his players. That's the easy way to say it. Is he finds ways to make these people they find with the scrap heaps useful, which also maybe is a disservice to the scouting department there because Max Strus, Gabe Vincent, Duncan Robinson, they have skills, but Eric Spoelstra knows exactly what lineups to deploy at exactly the right times, when to go to zone defense, when to go to drop coverage, all these things. They make so many changes on the fly within the games that playing them must be confusing as fuck because you play the Bucks in a series and they run the same coverage every single play. You know what to expect. You play the Sixers. You know they're going to do Harden and Embiid pick and rolls to death. You know how to defend that. Then you go against the Heat and you're just seeing a million different things and those things change every single game based on the lineups you deploy. It's just such mental chess you have to play every single play. And then you have Jimmy Butler who just wants to win everybody, who's relentless. It's just hard.
Listen, Jason Tatum found out that it was hard again because he folded. His fourth quarter was trash. His last 3 minutes was abominable. He had three turnovers. Didn't get up a single shot in the fourth quarter, which is wild.
Tell them what the turnovers
Jason
were.
Tatum, coming off a 51-point game, did not get a single shot off in the fourth quarter. That's insane.
Bro, tell them what type of turnovers they were in the fourth quarter.
Oh my goodness.
That makes it funnier.
So one of them, the first one was he was driving, tried to kick it out to Jaylen Brown, and Jimmy Butler was like, "You're stupid if you think that I didn't see that. I'll take that." Right? He jumps the passing lanes, he gets it. The next 2 turnovers, travels.
Back-to-back possessions.
Back-to-back possessions, he travels with the basketball. He was
How?
he folded. He folded.
You know why? We could say he folded, but travels are not a normal thing Jason Tatum does. That's not a trait of his.
That's
that
a Jaylen Brown
happens
thing.
because
That's good.
But no, that happens because the Heat apply so much pressure with their constantly changing defensive schemes. They're running zone one play. The next, they're running hard traps on pick and rolls. And then plus they just have these tenacious defenders with so much length. When you have Jimmy Butler and Max Strus, who's like deceptively tall. Like he's like 6'5" and really long. Pause. It's easy to be like in a pressure moment of a late fourth quarter. It's easy to get flustered when you're not a natural high level playmaker who can handle that type of pressure. It's fucking difficult. Like that's a lot of pressure.
I think it was the first one of the travels. I can't remember in what order they came. One of them came where Tatum had caught the ball on the wing and he's going for a shot and somebody's flying by him to contest. He tries to pump fake and then put the ball on the ground and he like jumped with the pump fake and did all that. That's because of everything that you're saying. It's because of the length. But it's like
it's moving too fast.
Listen, the Celtics for as many great players that they have on their team and really good players, they have some of the worst like late or most, I'll say inconsistent, because there's some times where they're really good, but they have some of the most inconsistent late game execution that I've ever seen. And it's the same thing that happened last year, right? The turnovers killed them in the finals. The turnovers and the bad execution nearly killed them in the Eastern Conference Finals against the Heat. They were up 13 with 2 minutes to go, and the Heat stormed back because of all these things. And I think that Miami, because of, and we honestly can't say it enough, because of their intangibles, because of Heat culture, because of all this, they will capitalize on every single one of those mistakes. And so unless Boston is perfect going down the stretch, or unless they're up by 10 with 2 minutes to go, I don't trust them to execute down the stretch. I just don't see it.
The thing with the Celtics is that, like, structurally with how they're built and also, like, their general play style, like, those two things, don't 110% mesh, just because like playmaking is not 100% like a natural thing for Jason Tatum and especially Jaylen Brown, who had 6 turnovers, by the way. That's absolutely disgusting. Anyways, yeah, so like when you play this like high level flying up and down like ball throwing, like you're riding with the 3-point shot, and then their scheme of playing basketball doesn't play directly well into someone like Jason Tatum's hands.
Yeah.
And you're just inviting a lot of inconsistencies with that. And that's just what naturally is going to happen. If you had more of a natural playmaker, then I think you have like a completely different result, because you have someone who can see all levels of the floor and not just make these like 1-2 quick reactionary passes that the normal player can develop over as years go by, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, we keep mentioning that the Heat find a way to win off of purely wanting it more and all this stuff, which is like the easy way to say it. But what it really means is the things we're talking about is that they apply lots of pressure and force you to make quick decisions, or they'll capitalize off those mistakes you make. And that's not something entirely new. Like, teams have played high risk, high reward levels types of defense before, where they're applying pressure, going for steals, trying to make plays and make you beat them with smart, quick choices. That's nothing new. There's a reason the Heat don't win the championship every year, because you can exploit that. But the way to exploit that is like what we saw in the 2020 finals, where you have a really smart playmaker like LeBron who can see that pressure, slow down, and dice it up. That's exactly the answer. That's why we saw peak of his powers Giannis in 2021 sweep this team. This was the same team, essentially. It just takes that type of playmaker or playmakers, if you have Drew Holiday, Chris Middleton, and Giannis, to be able to see this pressure, analyze it, and dissect it. And for what you said, for everything that the Celtics do well, Jason Tatum was dicing them up in the first quarter. In the second quarter, nobody can stay in front of him. He can get to the rim at will. But can he see this defense, make the right pass, analyze it, and be the league playmaker? I don't know.
One assist tonight, by the way, for Tatum.
4 turnovers.
Yeah. God, man.
That's pretty bad. It's pretty bad.
It's ugly.
So, like, that's what I'm like. If it was the Lakers playing them, I think we'd be seeing the Heat look more like the team full of undrafted free agents, because we'd have LeBron who can dissect this and hit these shooters and not be razzled by the double teams. But they're playing a team without a playmaker who, and it goes the other way too. If we saw the Celtics against the Nuggets, maybe we'd say, damn, these guys don't have the perimeter defenders to stay in front of Jason Tatum. They can't do so-and-so and so-and-so. It just goes to show you that everything is a game of matchups, and the Miami Heat are just the perfect matchup for the Celtics, I think.
Exactly. 100% agree. And that is why I have a hard time thinking that the Celtics will get away with all the mistakes and wild inconsistencies that they make with winning this series at all. Like, I honestly think
look at you. I'm very surprised that both of you guys are on the Heat.
Oh, I didn't say I'm picking the Heat to win the series.
Well, I'm picking the Heat. Who are you picking?
I'm kidding. I don't know. I'll pick the Heat for now. From what we've seen in Game 1 and what makes sense on paper.
For now. Make a pick.
You're such a cop-out.
No, I don't know. I'm not even saying that a cop-out. I'm saying I'll pick the Heat for now, but I'm not confident, because these are two teams that I like to doubt at every corner turn, but they both just like win. Like, the Celtics were in the finals for a reason. The last series we were talking shit about the Celtics being consistent. They decimated the 76ers in Game 7.
That is more because
we'll get to that.
Exactly. That is more because of them.
Yeah.
The Celtics also had an amazing game plan that focused on the weaknesses of both those stars and played into that, and they melted down because of the defense too. But that's not even the point. I'm saying to say is that these are two teams that are kind of up and down, and when they're up, they're really fucking hard to beat, and when they're down, they look very mortal. So I won't be shocked if Game 2 we come out and we see the Celtics blow them out, and we're like, oh, fuck, now we found stupid. Like, it's just going to be such an up and down series. I don't feel confident in any prediction, but you got to go the Heat for now.
Yeah, I don't feel confident with my prediction of the Miami Heat. Well, actually, not. Screw that. I do feel confident. But, like, the up and down, like you're saying, is, like, very real, of course. You're relying on a bunch of role players like Caleb Martin hitting 3 out of whatever threes that he shot and made tonight. You're relying on Kyle Lowry to continuously be this offensive jolt off of the bench.
Cooking.
And you're also like relying on Bam Adebayo to steadily be aggressive too, which is like been so shaky. And that's honestly like an X factor. I don't want to say the X factor. It might be the X factor. I haven't really thought about it yet, but like his aggressiveness is so important. He should be the best big in this series by far. I think he is. He showed that tonight, and so there's just I just feel comfortable with Jimmy Butler and Eric Spoelstra being the head of my team and smoothing things out and catching the Celtics in the most vulnerable moments, like tonight, for example.
Yeah. I can't blame you. It's just like you said, when we say the Celtics are inconsistent, that means they're not always at their best. But sometimes they're at their best. When they're at their best, they're damn near impossible to beat. So I just don't know how I could feel confident in any prediction in the series. Right? I can't even feel confident in anything involving the Celtics, really. You just never know what you're going to get from them.
And that's why I can't say
that is true.
Yeah, it's not a good thing at all.
Yeah, that is true.
Yeah, man.
That is true. But I think their time has come. That is my prediction when it comes to this series. You can get away with all these inconsistencies and not being trustable, but against this team, with the way they've been playing on a consistent basis with Gabe Vincent and all them boys, I don't think you're gonna get away with this one, pal.
Yeah,
not this series.
Yeah, man. It's either way, we're in for two really great series in these conference finals.
Phenomenal, bro.
I think we should pivot a little bit away from these series and talk about the biggest story of yesterday. The NBA draft lottery finally happened, and after months and months of thinking where's the most hyped prospect since LeBron going to go, we now know that Victor Wembanyama is going to be a San Antonio Spur.
Hooray!
Yay! I sound so mad.
I'm so
How do you feel about this?
San Antonio, listen. Shout out to the Spurs. You get another great big in your history. I think Pop's going to stay around. I'm very interested just to see. I just want to see how good. I want to know how good Wemby's going to be off rip. That's the only. That's the only thing I'm concerned of. The Spurs they're not going to be a great team next year. They are still missing a million pieces, right? In terms of building something for the future, they need a couple more foundational pieces. They've been in kind of just like this tankathon, no man's land since the whole Kawhi Leonard, went away. But shout out to them, right? The league saved them from being on the brink of complete irrelevance. So they have Wemby, and so it should be fun.
Let's put some respect on their name. Shout out to them for going ahead and shipping away DeJounte Murray and getting the absolute most in the perfect time instead of being an indecisive organization like we see with plenty of teams.
Shout
in
out
the
to
NBA.
Spurs for fleecing the Atlanta Hawks and having it pay off.
I almost hung up this phone call. But anyways, like I was saying, I think they're in a fantastic spot. This is literally like storybook. The NBA scriptwriters, they're in their absolute Duffy right now, Having Jeremy Sohan, Devin Vassell, I don't know what their guard play is going to be or their point guard play is going to be necessarily looking like, but they already have like good pieces that you envision and you want around Victor Wembanyama. It's just all about like how good is he going to be in the NBA? What type of I'm scared. I'm not scared. I'm slightly disappointed that it's the Spurs because like they're not going to let him cook basketball. Like he's going to be forced to play the right way, and he might not put up crazy numbers. I don't know. I could be wrong, but just going by the Spurs track record,
crazy numbers. Anyway,
I hope. I want to see it.
I was disappointed at first. I was going to it. I was like, anybody but the fucking Spurs, please.
Yeah.
I find the Spurs so boring. I was praying on their downfall. And I wanted to go to Detroit. So when I saw Detroit fell from the best odds to number 5, I was ready to throw up. I wanted Cade with Wemby so fucking bad. Man. And like I said, I want anybody with the Spurs. I want to see him with LaMelo, maybe with Dame, with the Rockets core. And then we got the Spurs. Him and Keldon Johnson. Yuck. But I've talked myself into it in the past day. I finally gave the Spurs the respect they deserve. I look at the roster up and down, and I said, okay, at power forward, they have Jeremy Sohan, a really talented playmaker who's going to be weirdly versatile and a very unique player. Just having that with Wemby, who's the perfect player to play with a 4 who can play make and not shoot that well.
Facts.
That's the perfect player to play next to him. Keldon Johnson is Keldon Johnson, whatever. Vassell is a really talented 2 who has some skills that I think will develop into a really high-level starter. Not a star, but a good starter. Trey Jones is probably ideally your backup point guard, but he's a good. He's Tyus Jones light. There's nothing wrong with that. I think they eventually have to find a dynamic guard to star next to him. But
Absolutely.
for year one, starting with that core around him, that's going to be a respectable team.
And it's great for his development as well. I think when it comes to a lot of NBA teams and how they drafted or whatnot, a lot of teams aren't positioned perfectly to have like a great team around their young quote unquote star to help amplify all their skills and whatnot. And when it comes to Wemby, like, this is the perfect team. Now, I ain't gonna lie, you said you wanted him like in Detroit next to Cade. I wanted him in Charlotte next to that other light skinned dude and alongside like PJ Washington. And okay, that doesn't move anybody for real, but really I just wanted to see him next to LaMelo, to be honest, bro.
That's
because LaMelo's gonna be out of there soon, and this team is quite literally going to be in the dumps. And you can trust any other team in the NBA other than the Charlotte Hornets and the mismanagement that's been constantly going over there. But it is what it is. Who cares? They're in a great spot regardless. They got this could be a good chance to talk about number 2, the number 2 overall pick. And we'll see what the hell they want to do with that. They're a suspect organization, but
they're getting Scoot. They're getting Scoot Henderson.
I hope.
They should get Scoot, but I feel like they're going to pick Brandon Miller and pass up on Scoot because they're drafting for fit, which is dumb as hell whenever you have Scoot Henderson on the board and you have nobody but LaMelo on your roster. Like, at that point of the draft and that point of your rebuild, you have to pick best player available and just aim for the stars. And I don't think they're going to do it. I think they're going to pick Brandon Miller.
I refuse to believe that they are that stupid.
No, they're bad. Mitch Kupchak is not a good GM.
Oh, he's speaking from experience. He said that as if he had nightmares. Tell us about it.
he was a Lakers GM for a while. Not good. And what have the Charlotte Hornets done well in the draft besides LaMelo in the past 8 years?
Silence.
Miles Bridges.
I guess they found that rapper somewhere in the draft, but some great choice that was.
We can't talk about him.
Yeah, I know.
I'm bleeping that name out.
As you should.
Yeah, man. I don't trust them at all. Portland getting to 3 is interesting. They're actually rumored to be shopping that pick and probably going to trade it to win now around Dame, which I don't think anybody wants to see that happen, but they're stupid, so we'll see what happens.
Karl Anthony Towns, welcome to the Portland Trailblazers.
I wouldn't hate that. I honestly wouldn't hate that.
I see it happening. I don't see why the Minnesota Timberwolves would not do this and just hone in on, like, you already know Anthony Edwards is your guy. At that point, get over the wave of disappointment that you've created around Karl Anthony Towns and just move on to the next chapter. As for the Blazers, do I think that this will fix them? No. Will this make them slightly better? Sure. And that's all they should be looking for right now. This is just more so like...
You say Cat. You know what I see? I see Pascal Siakam for the number 3 overall pick.
I love it too. That makes complete sense. But Masai Ujiri, he's stingy though, and I don't know what's up with that man. He traded for Jakob Poeltl, bro. Like, and he gave him a first round pick. I don't trust him to make any moves.
You're right. He's
kind of washed. He's playing. He has like CTE going on right now, so I don't know like if he's actually gonna make the right moves happen. So
yeah man. Look at the Rockets at 4. They're gonna get. Is it Amon or Amen? How do you say his name? A Thompson?
There's a Sar and then Amen.
Okay, Amen. They're probably going to get Amen Thompson at 4. Unless Scoot somehow falls, but I doubt it.
Dude, the Rockets don't deserve shit. Fuck that team.
No, they're bad.
Detroit at 5. They'll probably get Walker, that power forward, put next to Duran. That would be cool, I guess. I feel bad for them. Winning 17 games and falling to 5. That's tough.
This just screws them up completely. Like, I feel like... once you get to 3, like everyone's draft, like the top players available aren't like seamless fits or like ideal fits for like any of these teams. So I expect a really deep draft though. Yeah, but with that being said though, I do still expect like a lot of movement happening. Like I know the Orlando Magic have to be absolutely fiending, and they're hoping that like the Charlotte Hornets pull like a dumbass move and like somehow want to accept a trade from the Orlando Magic with all the assets that they have.
Listen, the Magic are getting the second overall pick for Wendell Carter Jr. Like that's happening.
Ooh, that'd be cool. With the Magic going to 2 and getting Scoot with Paolo and Franz.
God,
ooh,
they're doing that.
That would be hard. I hope that happens.
Yeah,
that would be dope.
That makes me slightly sad for Markelle Fultz because he was actually snapping, but. The story's cute, but we have to play serious now.
He'll be fine in Charlotte. Like,
Who is fine in Charlotte? Would he really?
I don't know if he will be. He'll be fine, unlike the Jazz or something. He'll go somewhere and get some minutes and be good, but it doesn't got to be with the Magic.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, man. The rest of the lottery went pretty chalk. The Jazz, the Mavericks kept their pick. They fell in the top 10. Thank God they didn't lose it. Yeah. Oh, I forgot you're a Knicks fan. Yeah, but we're gonna have a lot of time to talk about this draft. Overall, just want to get you guys' first impression on Wemby going to the Spurs. I think the general consensus here is good for him, good for the Spurs. Not the most exciting, but it'll be good for his development.
Yeah, good for the development and the NBA scriptwriters. Like, I trust him out of all the teams that were destined to be in the lottery. Obviously, like the Spurs are easily like one of the most trustworthy organizations, if not the most trustworthy organization in the NBA when it comes to not mismanaging for the most part talent. So I think they're fine.
Yeah,
I love it.
All right, let's do a quick transition. Before we get to TikTok time, we have to talk about the elephant in the room who I completely forgot to mention earlier. We got to talk about fucking Ja Morant, man.
Oh, I forgot about him. Wow.
Me too. If I didn't look at our show run down right now, I would have forgot about him. Because it has nothing to do with basketball, and I'd rather not be talking about him, but we have to because one of the league's brightest stars has continued to be one of the league's biggest idiots and try his hardest to speed run a career.
Yeah.
And it's insane, man.
The first time this happened, like, I'll finish your sentence for you, might be, but for those who are out of the loop, this dude, Ja Morant, went ahead and flashed a gun in his friend's Instagram live. This time it wasn't his Instagram thing. Yeah, again. This time it wasn't his Instagram actual account, but it was his friend's. And the second that it was posted up, the Instagram account only had like 112 or 15 people in it. But the internet is the internet. It got out everywhere.
Digital footprints are real. They are real people.
Exactly, And the first time this happened, I don't think we spoke on it virtually, like, at all.
You said Gooch on the podcast one time. Just want to let that be known. Digital footprint. You said Gooch on the podcast one time. Okay. Digital footprint.
Okay. Listen, we're trying to talk about something real here, okay? Okay, we're trying to talk about something real. We're trying to talk about Ja Morant.
We talk about some real black man struggles, okay? You just interrupted me talking about some Gooch.
Thank you, bro. Let's center this conversation.
Have some shame.
A young brother is in trouble, and he's crying out for help on the internet.
Yeah.
Ja Morant is playing with guns on the internet, and like for real, he's like, this is the second time, and you would think that after the first time, even for his own safety, right? Because like the fact that he got in trouble, the only thing that for me that I thought would happen is that Ja's like, okay, like I'm still gonna move the way that I move. I'm just not gonna be on Instagram Live. The fact that anytime the Instagram Live comes on, he's like, "Hey, it's show and tell. You guys want to see what I have?" And he just like wants to show the fact that he like has a gun, and it's crazy because, and a lot of people have made this point in that he most likely got left off of all NBA teams because of everything that happened. Right. And a lot of people, their view of Ja and Ja's season and the way that he affected his team was very, very negative because he was out here playing with a gun in Denver. And then after, not only on the money side, but playing, there's already been this entire like persona about Ja. The fact that he like wants to show that he's from a certain, he's cut from a certain cloth.
Call it what it is. He wants to be hood really badly, and he wants you to know that he's hood.
He's done that. There was the laser pointer incident. There was the incident of him showing the gun to the 17-year-old in a pickup basketball game. He ran up on a finish line customer. Like there's all these things that he keeps doing because he wants to be hood, and it's like, fam, do you not understand like what you're doing? Like, there's that. You are an NBA player on the precipice of making $250 million. There's that, and you are in Memphis, Tennessee, and you are out here showing people like, oh yeah, I have it on me, which is just inviting people to come at you. People know where Ja Morant is going to be from October to April. They know his entire schedule. You are already a target the moment you sign a contract, and the fact that you are out here comporting yourself the way that you are is idiotic, and it's very, very stupid. And for his sake, he just has to stop.
Yeah, it's nothing good.
He has to stop. That's what happens when you go to counseling for 2 days. This man went to counseling on a Monday, reportedly, and checked out on a Wednesday. Everybody knew nothing
got a massage
happened.
and went home.
Bro.
Nothing happened.
Something that has to be said is like, we could say this is him being stupid, which he genuinely is and all that, but there's like some serious underlying issues that's happening with him psychologically and like within his circle, because prior to his like pre-draft synopsis and analysts, like no one sniffed out any of this. We know how slimy and dirty these NBA scouts are and how they dig up any piece of information. They would tell you they would know if you cheated on your like math test in 5th grade, bro. They're just that deep in the weaves with everything. And for nothing to happen in this rookie year, second year and third year. Now all this is happening out of the blue after showing no real consistency at all. No real track record of being a bastard. All this happening around the same time. That's a red flag. What is going on? What, like,
Why would you call him that?
Because this is bastard activity. Like, you are literally what people would kill to be in a position what he is right now. He's hooping for a living. You're dunking on people for a living. You know what I'm saying?
And the problem is too, it's like you're saying. Apparently there was no sign of him being this beforehand, and it's just like, why he's just like playing into this typical stereotype of athletes wanting to be rappers, and just like feeling like now that he's in this position of fame and notoriety, and he has this money that he has to live a certain lifestyle, he has to be NBA YoungBoy, when he absolutely does not. There's nothing in the world that says he has to be NBA YoungBoy, but he feels that internally, it seems like. Mm-hmm. And after the first one, I want to give him a lot of slack and be like, people make mistakes. He's a young guy who has come into fame and fortune. It's hard to deal with that. There's outside influences that are not easy to separate yourself from as you come into money. And a lot of people have shared that sentiment, right? They were like, maybe there's influences around him that he needs to be mature about and separate himself from and figure out what is important for him. But at a certain point, I think Bomani Jones was saying this, that at a certain point, maybe he's the bad influence. Like, you can only give somebody so many chances and assuming it's because of others when people will show you who they are and you have to listen to them eventually. And to do it this fast after the controversy that could have cost him insane amounts of money. It did cost him a lot of money at the moment, but could have like ruined his career. Mm-hmm. And he got away from it and looked like he was on the up and up. To do it again in the exact same fashion, not even 6 months later, that might be this type of sign you need to see from somebody to stop giving them benefit of the doubt.
Damn.
100%. And it's like his friend was the one who put the phone down once he turned over, because his friend was driving. Once he turned over and was like, the gun's out. What is happening? Like,
bro, they weren't driving. They were in a driveway. They were stationary, getting lit in their car, and John was just like, "Hey, for what? For what?"
Casamigo demons are different, bro.
and there's several videos of him just walking around with a bottle of Casamigos, just taking mad shots of it. Like it's juice, and it's like
facing it like it's water, bro. Damn.
Yeah, and it's a lot of very just weird and scary behavior from Ja. Hopefully, whatever needs to happen to get him like on the right path happens. But it's a bad situation for Ja to be in. It's a bad situation for the Grizzlies. It's a bad situation for everybody, for the league involved. To have your one of the best, rising stars, one of the best young stars in the game doing this.
Let's real quick, we should talk about why it's a big deal, like in general, because I think especially from like our people, we have a very young audience, and on a serious note, a lot of them will see this and be like, he didn't commit a crime. Owning a gun is okay. You're allowed to have a gun. It's maybe it's licensed. Like there's nothing wrong with that. We got to talk about the difference between just like being a gun owner and being a marketable NBA star, face of a league, face of $1 billion corporation,
exactly,
treating a gun like it's an accessory. like it's a toy, and glorifying guns in a way that makes it seem casual. Like everybody should just have one because it's cool. There's a huge difference there.
The NBA is easily, like, arguably, it's one of the 2 most influential sports and just things on the planet. Point blank, period. You ever see a random white kid doing the gritty on TikTok? That is because of Ja Morant and nobody else. He's the one who went ahead and like helped popularize the entire thing. And the NBA is just like the best sport when it comes to it being all about the player, of course, and also like who the player is. Like we play into personalities and tendencies so much. Kawhi Leonard and guys like Kawhi Leonard, like he's known for just being quiet, you know, and like everyone runs with that, and that's his shtick, that's his thing, you know. And LeBron James, he has memes for days. Like a new LeBron meme comes out at least once every month, you know. And for someone like Ja to do things like this does nothing but influence and make other people, like their young audiences and everybody, think that this is just okay, you know. And that's why it should be like shunned upon. As hard as it is, he didn't shoot or kill anybody or anything like that, but things, who's to say that things will not ever get to that point? God forbid that happens, shit like that. But point blank period, like you're messing with the psyche of like the youth and stuff like that, you know.
And it's not even, you're saying God forbid it ever gets to that point where he actually does something with the guns. That's not even the point. He can never do anything with it. It can have no bullets in it, and he's just waving around because it's cool. That's the issue right there, is that he's promoting the glorification of a certain lifestyle to an audience that will emulate that, and who is not from that lifestyle and has no reason to be glorifying that lifestyle themselves. When Allen Iverson was at his peak, the most influential player, little white kids were wearing arm sleeves, having fake braids. Tattoo sleeves, like all this shit. Like the most influential stars, you will see the children around the country want to be like them. Mamba mentality influenced an entire generation of young kids. Ja is not that level, but in terms of popularity among young stars, he is as high as it gets.
Top 5 easily.
Top 1 probably. He had the opportunity to be the most marketable player in the NBA potentially. So, like, you cannot understate how much influence he has with the generation. So, really, it's not even about did he do a crime. It's what type of image is he giving across and what type of lifestyle is he showing these kids is cool.
Point
and people,
blank, period.
Yeah, and people are going to be like, nobody hates rappers for doing this, but it's different when you're an athlete and when you're a rapper. Like, he clearly is trying to merge these two worlds, but the image of what a rapper represents is very different from what an athlete represents, and how kind of influence they have on realistically to the people that watch their product.
Exactly. You quite literally hit it on the money, you know. And now, like, if I'm a Grizzlies fan, you can't feel nothing but utterly sick to your stomach, because what are you supposed to do? How can you continue to trust someone who lied to your face, not even like a whole year from now, just like 2-3 months or whatever it must have been? And so this just causes so much issues. And if I'm like the Memphis Grizzlies, I don't want to like think of trade possibilities or whatnot, but you need to think of a backup plan just in case something happens again, because like he lied to you once, he lied to you once already. Who's to say he won't do it again?
100%.
For sure. Yeah, because maybe you're not at the point yet where you got to think about, like, what am I going to do? But you got to be thinking, like, can I trust this guy long term? Whatever that looks like for the people in the front office, they have a better feel for it than we do. But as soon as it happened, they came out and said, Ja Morant is suspended from team activities. There ain't no fucking team activities going on right now. They said that to make it clear that they're sending a message that we are not cool with this. We're not condoning this. We are sick of this shit. That message is loud and clear, so clearly there's, whether it just be these two incidents or things Ja has done in the way he conducts himself around these, they clearly are not even trying to pretend that they're being, open to allowing him to go through this. They're clearly putting down the hammer. This is not okay.
I know how to fix Ja Morant. Send that man to the Utah Jazz. No hoes, no drinks, nothing but mountains.
He would be the most dangerous in Utah. I'm letting you know that right now. Really? Nothing around him. He would be. The club would be at his house. Okay,
Utah's most wanted.
Okay, he would be the most dangerous. When you are bored, you are the most dangerous. And so, like, Utah can't be the case for him. But
so are you saying send him to Miami or LA? Like, just go the opposite way?
I mean, listen, that's bad too. Memphis he needs to be somewhere like he needs to be somewhere like Dallas or somewhere like Houston, like a big city enough, but not like
send him to
too
a state
big.
that allows guns the most.
Okay. I guess that's true. I'm just thinking about it in scale.
I know what you mean.
I'm just thinking about it in scale. Listen,
man.
before aside from Ja, and before we get to TikTok time, there's been something that I have been dying to talk about. Can we please guys, I don't even know the word. Can we put some slander into this episode real quick before we get into TikTok time?
Add some more negativity to it. Let's get it.
Please.
Are you talking about who I think you're talking about?
Yes, you are. We need to talk about how embarrassing and disgraceful Joel Embiid and James Harden played in Game 7 against the Celtics, because they are out, right? We talked about the Celtics being in the Eastern Conference Finals. That came because they destroyed the Sixers in Game 7. James Harden and Joel Embiid combined for 24 points on 8 of 29 shooting from the field. They sucked. They sucked. James Harden pulled a James Harden, as he always does. Joel Embiid showed that his MVP was the most fraudulent MVP in all of NBA history. And we ranked Joel Embiid's MVP season as like a C tier. That's a D tier after this. I can't respect anything that
Let
organization
him
does.
cook.
And it got the coach fired. There's nothing good. They suck.
Yeah.
This
First
man
off,
woke
before
up ready to hate.
Doc Rivers should have been fired, so I'm not going to say it. You implied that they suck so bad it got their coach fired. Doc Rivers didn't help himself. Doc Rivers is a crap coach. He's been coasting off of one title 15 years ago. It was about that time he got chopped. But it comes to two things, right? Joel Embiid and James Harden both played like shit. At this point, I don't even feel the need to pile in on James Harden. He is who he showed us he is.
No. We are going to pile on, and I need an apology from you two, because after the first game, y'all were like, oh, why don't you go and apologize to James Harden? He dropped 45. Shut up. I told y'all exactly what was going to happen. I told y'all 2 weeks ago that this is who this man was.
You're
Y'all
right.
didn't believe
James
me.
Harden. Yeah, this is who he is. You're 100% right. James Harden is the guy that he'll have his best playoff performance of his career, have another good game, 2 okay games, but 4 piss-poor games where he forgets how to play basketball. His game turns into insurance fraud. He doesn't know how to do anything right. That's who he is. He showed us that time and time again. He's not even as good as he used to be. That's fine. I don't even care anymore. That's who he is. We will go forward knowing James Harden is this guy. What I do care about and what we do need to conversate about is Joel Embiid is damn near the same guy. Every year, every single year, he does not get past the second round. And most of the time, it is not entirely his fault, but he's not doing shit to elevate his team and make up for the other problems. You could say it's because he's always injured, and this year he had the MCL sprain, which we don't know how much it hampered him. But fucking well, he's always injured. It's the same thing we do with Chris Paul. We know he's going to be injured, so at a certain point, you got to bake that into your evaluation. He's not going to be healthy for a playoff run, and so he's going to be crap for a playoff run. It's almost guaranteed. And I think we mentioned it in the stream yesterday on TikTok. This year, he had 33 points per game in the playoffs. In the regular season. And in the playoffs, it was 23 points per game. A 10-point drop-off. That is the biggest drop-off of points per game from any star in NBA history. The second biggest drop-off in NBA history, last year's Joel Embiid. He is now unequivocally one of the biggest playoff droppers in NBA history alongside James Harden. He is big James Harden.
That is what happens when your game is also based on insurance fraud. Right? Joel's game is based on him getting to the free throw line 12, 13 times a game, doing the stupid rip through 15 million times. And guess what? In the playoffs, when defenses are better, when they're going to send the double, and apparently Joel Embiid hasn't learned anything over the last 3 years because they've been sending double teams every single playoff series, and he has not watched the film once because he doesn't know what to do when the double comes, and he doesn't know he can't get to the free throw line. He can't pass out of the double team. He's shooting 5 for 18. He's getting locked up by Al Horford.
That's the part.
He's getting locked up by Al Horford for years in a row.
Damn,
This is ridiculous,
bro. And the complicated part is to give him some benefit of the doubt, if we give him any. This is also the Celtics who did this to KD last year, pissed on KD's grave, swept him out of the first round, and now they did this to Joel Embiid. Clearly, the Celtics are incredible at exploiting star scorers who aren't very good passers.
They can't do that to Jimmy. Oh, okay. Who aren't good passers?
Aren't very good passers.
Yeah.
Like, if you're not a person who can pass out of doubles, they're gonna destroy you internally. So on one hand, okay, it's the Celtics. This is what they're good at, so give them some credit. But 5 for 18 shooting, it wasn't as simple as just like they made him pass and you couldn't do it well. It was just kind of what we were talking about with the Celtics versus the Heat, where the game moved at such a speed and such a complicatedness of the defense, he couldn't, dissect it. He likes to hold the ball a lot and stand in his high post position, sitting there jabbing, figuring out what his defense is doing, and by the time he's ready to make his move, there's 8 seconds left on the shot clock. You can do that in the regular season. Most often than not, it'll work because you'll make your shots and you'll hit the basic passes. You cannot do that against the Celtics. At that point, you end up having these terrible possessions where you're taking awful mid-range shots or throwing the ball to James Harden to shit himself and do James Harden things. It's not going to work out for this duo ever.
This is unforgivable. And I am happy that everyone now across the brightest light sees the light in terms of just like Jokic versus Embiid and stuff like that. And Isaac's always, and I'm pretty sure Donovan, you've always felt like it's always been Jokic in terms of being the best center in the NBA. And it's for reasons like these, Embiid's he's 29 years old. At the end of next season, he's going to be 30 years old. You're 29, you haven't been past the second round, dude.
Grow up. Grow up.
And
please mature and get to the conference finals. Come on.
And what irritates me the most out of this entire situation is like, okay, you have a crapper, whatever, cool. Like, it's known to be happening. This is your reputation. But after the game, you go out in a press conference and you say, me and James Harden can't do this alone. We need players to show up. Bitch, you're the players. What do you mean? You are players. It's you two. PJ Tucker went out, played his heart out, scored like 11 points to your 15. That ratio is crazy.
He played his heart out, scored 11 points.
Yeah, it's for PJ Tucker. It's for
Nice
PJ. He
try.
shot 3. He made 3 threes. Shout out to you. You did
He made
your
4
thing, but
field
you,
goals.
Joel Embiid, you're done. You're done. But Tyrese Maxey, sure, he didn't have the greatest game. I think he only scored like 11 or some points. But like,
We
what else
like
are you
Tyrese Maxey
moment.
so much that we're just gonna let him pass for not having a great series, right? Because he also wasn't great.
I mean, he's a role player. Role players are inconsistent sometimes against great defenses. He doesn't have the expectations that James Harden and Joel Embiid have.
No, but like Maxey's 2 of 6 from 3 from the he also didn't have like a great. He shot 42% from the field. Like it's not like
Listen, it's hard to be real good when your 2 good players are leading shit offense and not getting anything moving and allowing you to
and
cook.
pounding the hell out of the ball, doing this, just throw it to you at random times and expect you to like, hey, like make some shit happen out of nothing. Like
Here,
it's
go
hard.
run fast.
That's not naturally him. He's
Yeah.
a very specific type of player, and you have to put him in a specific system to make things work, or at least like a freelance system. In the Philadelphia 76ers they're not like really freelance whatsoever. So this is just a tough series.
Well, listen.
Like, shout out to Tyrese Maxey and all that, but bro,
listen, we have one more year of Joel Embiid. Like next year, Joel's probably gonna get a pass because it's just gonna be him and Tyrese Maxey. Because James Harden is coming back to Houston. He's like, listen, I gave a $15 million to try and win something. We got bounced in the second round, which I said was gonna happen from the start of the season. But he gave up that money, and at this point, he's like, guys, I just want to have fun. I just want to live my life and do what I do. So he's gonna come back to Houston and probably finish his career here.
Yeah. He declined his player option yesterday and is now an unrestricted free agent. Word on the street is, according to Chris Haynes, he wants a 4-year contract, whatever that may be. Everyone knows his eye is on Houston. Apparently, he's also interested in the Suns, which, if they go that route, Jesus Christ. But
that's nasty.
he's clearly not super committed to the 76ers, which he verbally was in the media last year. So if I was a Sixers fan, I would fully expect him to leave if I was a Sixers fan.
Yeah, if you're James Harden, like, why would you go back? Like, I think this was not the easiest, but the clearest chance and route they've had to win in a long time, especially if you're James Harden, the West, dealing with all that crazy shit. And then, of course, you went through injuries when he was with the Brooklyn Nets and whatnot. This was the time. This was your time to shine. You have 2 chances to win alongside the MVP and Doc Rivers and all those guys, and you go out like this, you're never getting an opportunity like this ever again.
Yeah. Hey, man,
And they're
terrible.
cooked. They're cooked.
Yeah, exactly. And if he does go back to Houston, like you said, he's just trying to live his lavish lifestyle and he's going to spend insane money doing the craziest shit. That's him, because I promise you this, like, in a few years coming, he's not going to have a chance to win, especially in that division, because you expect the Dallas Mavericks, at least hopefully, to get things together. The Houston Rockets, the San Antonio Spurs just got the number one overall pick, and you expect them to ramp things up over the next few years. That division is just super hard, and I'm not going to mention the Memphis Grizzlies because, of course, there's a whole lot going on there. But assuming and hoping like things go right there, they're not going anywhere. So it's just tough.
Not going well for them. Let's move on to TikTok time.
Let's do it.
Yeah, I love this negativity though. I miss it.
That was a nice slander fest.
Yeah.
All right. As always, when we start this TikTok time, you guys know we're starting with the draft. This time we're going to do a draft of only players that were drafted in the 2010s. So, youngish guys.
Okay.
So, as always, get the hook out there. Let's draft NBA lineups with only players who were drafted in the 2010s. Who had first pick last time? What did we do last time?
I cannot remember.
I think I had first pick last time.
What was the draft?
I think I was third last time, I believe.
Oh, we did no college. I had LeBron first. You had Kobe second, Mo?
Yeah.
I think so.
Okay, so you're first, Mo. I'm third. Donovan's second.
Nice.
This is one of those ones where I would like to double up.
Yeah, I'm fine with wherever I go. All right, Mo, you got it. First pick. Let us know who you got.
Did you do the hook?
Yep.
You did? Damn, my mind, I was asleep. Holy shit, damn. I could have swore, like, I was just waiting for his ass to say, okay, cool.
Good.
First overall pick, 2010s, give me Giannis Antetokounmpo.
Over Nikola Jokic, okay.
That is fine. My first pick, I'm taking Jokic.
Nice.
Okay. Feel like I lobbed that one up. All right. For me,
Shot yourself
third
in the
over.
foot.
I'm going to go ahead. First off, give me Kawhi Leonard.
Okay.
First off, give me prime Kawhi Leonard.
Okay.
And then to pair with him, give me Luka Doncic.
I knew you were going to
that.
go Luka. I knew you were going to go Luka.
Got the playmaking and the scoring god. I need it.
All right. We gotta do this. All right, we're going to start off big. Give me Anthony Davis.
Oh, that's a good pick.
Wow.
I thought about him versus Luka. It's a good pick.
That's a great pick. Okay. Go ahead. I'm going to go ahead and give me for the fit, I absolutely needed Klay Thompson.
Okay.
And
then on top of Klay.
He's cooking something.
Yeah, on top of Klay, give me Jason Tatum.
Oh, I was hoping he fell to me. That's a good fit.
Yeah.
Okay. I like that. You got two wings that can shoot really well next to the best perimeter, next to the best interior scorer. That's hard.
Yeah.
Okay.
I need it.
Okay, I see that.
Don't fold it.
All right, I want a wing right now after I got my bigs. Give me Paul George.
Another great pick.
Love that shit.
We're gonna run on wings here. Okay. I need to get a big now before the last good ones go. Give me Joel Embiid.
That's good.
Trash.
That's good.
Fraud.
Yeah. He just got exposed, but I need him. And so now I have a 1, 3, and a 5. This could go some interesting ways. I have Kawhi. I probably need a good shooter here. Give me Devin Booker at the 2.
Ooh,
nice.
That's good. That was my next pick.
I got straight killers at every position.
That was my next pick. Okay.
You're in a complicated spot now.
Okay, this is a tough decision at my 2, but I'm gonna play this guy. I'm gonna play this guy off ball because I think he can be a little bit of a combo guard. Give me Mr. World B Flat. Give me Kyrie Irving.
Okay.
I don't hate that.
Yeah. You don't hate it, but I do. Give me Damian Lillard for my point guard, and then
great pick.
And then so I got Dame, Klay, Tatum, Giannis, My team is fucking nasty, yo.
Team's nasty.
Yeah, it's literally disgusting. So in front of Giannis, who do I want to place?
Yeah, this is the hardest part for you because all the good bigs are gone.
Yeah, exactly. This is definitely the hardest part for me right now.
Can I offer you one Karl-Anthony Towns?
Fuck no, you couldn't offer me anything. You couldn't offer me anything. So what I'm gonna go ahead and do is damn, this is hard because like you got Jokic, you got Embiid, and now it's like
if you take my last pick, I'm gonna scream.
I'm not gonna take your last pick. I'm going to give your last pick to you and pick someone who's even better. Give me at my 5 Pascal Siakam.
Okay. Interesting fit.
Solid
next to Giannis.
fit. Okay. Super versatile.
Okay, here we go. I have a decision to make. I don't know who I want right now.
What position you need?
A guard.
Oh, okay. There's good options. There's a lot of good options left.
Exactly. That's what makes it tough. Okay, here's what I'm gonna do. We're gonna slide Kyrie down to the 1. And we're gonna slide Kyrie down to the 1. We're gonna slide Paul George to the 2. Or am I
are you gonna take him?
Whatever. I am. Give me Jaylen Brown.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say Jimmy Butler.
No.
Oh, I forgot Jimmy Butler was 2011. Damn, that 2011 draft class was stupid, bro. Gas.
Ooh, do I take him? So I could either pick Jaren Jackson and get a defender in there because I have enough ball handlers, or I can double down and just get another killer and get Jimmy Butler. Ooh. Which one do I do?
Be lame. If it was me, I would just take John Wall.
Listen, prime John Wall.
Nasty.
Kind of nasty.
John Wall. What? Dougie John Wall. What?
Listen, I could take Jimmy Butler here and get another great ball handler, but I have enough ball handlers. Give me Jaren Jackson to round out my lineup. I need a guy who doesn't need the ball in his hands.
I like it. This is a great draft.
I got Kawhi, Jaren, and Embiid.
Right,
Nobody's scoring on me.
Let's list the teams.
Yeah.
I have Luka Doncic, Devin Booker, Kawhi Leonard, Jaren Jackson Jr., and Joel Embiid.
Okay,
it's a
that's
nice team.
I have Kyrie Irving, Paul George, Jaylen Brown, Anthony Davis, Nikola Jokic.
That team is AD Jokic combo is ridiculous.
Listen, 2 through 4
Kyrie out there
locked up.
And PG.
I think I have the best 1, 2, and 3 on these lists.
So I have Damian Lillard, Klay Thompson. Who else did I? Holy shit!
Jason Tatum.
Okay. Yeah, Damian Lillard, Klay Thompson, Jason Tatum, Giannis, and then Pascal Siakam. My fit is super interesting, and I don't think there's a real pinpoint weakness on my team. I have everything you want to ask for.
The weakness is the 5, and it's just because you don't have Embiid or Jokic. But I mean, your team is not. Naturally. You have Giannis though, so like your team is nice.
Yeah,
I got Giannis.
I got the best point guard. I got the best shooting guard. I got the best small forward. Second best center, and then 4 I went fit. I like my chances.
But how's the fit work though? Realistically speaking, that's the thing. That's a big thing.
I don't know.
Well. Let's in the comments side that. Yeah.
My
fit is immaculate. I love my draft.
Okay. Next thing we're gonna do something. Run back something we did about a month ago. You're gonna tell me which NBA player's nickname this is. I'm gonna give you 2 options, and you gotta tell me who it is.
Okay.
Perfect.
So,
Let's do
I think I'm more prepared for this one.
Yeah.
I've done no research.
Last one was great.
I've done no research. I'm purely reading your vibes.
Okay. Which NBA player's nickname is this? True Warrior. Is this Joakim Noah or Ron Artest?
I feel like that's tough. Joakim.
I have to say, True is spelled TRU, like he's 2 Chainz.
Oh, okay. Nah, that's Ron.
That's Ron. Yeah, he was a rapper. Ron. That's Ron. Yeah. Easy. That was an easy giveaway.
Only he's a maniac like that.
This is the panda's friend. This is Meta World Peace.
Nah, that man is
ridiculous. Yeah. Shout out to Ron. He made the hardest NBA songs out there, bro.
Champion? Crazy. Dropped it after a championship too? Oh my goodness.
Legendary.
Had the iPod Nano going crazy.
Next one. Sub-Zero. Is this Damian Lillard or Gilbert Arenas?
Oh, that's Gilbert Arenas.
That's Gilbert.
Yeah, that's
Why?
Gilbert Arenas. Because, well, he could be throwing us off because the number 0, agent 0, but
I mean, they're both
still.
0. They're both 0. But like,
yeah, but I think Gilbert was more recognizable for that. Not recognizable, but that's more so part of his thing, you know?
Yeah, that's true.
This is Damian Lillard's nickname.
Who called him that?
I've never heard anyone call him that.
Listen, Basketball Reference does not lie.
Fire their intern.
I think their nickname department needs revamping. That might be the worst thing on the site.
Yeah.
Right, next one. Bean Burrito. Is this Nick Young or Ricky Rubio?
That sounds so racist. Who's doing this?
I'm not getting canceled. This is Nick Young.
Yeah, let's say Nick Young. I can't do this.
Ricky Rubio's not Mexican. He's from Spain. It's not racist.
I know, but the correlation is still there out of the two.
They eat beans and burritos everywhere. I promise you.
Okay,
I promise.
This is Nick Young's nickname.
Yeah, yo, that is crazy.
He tried to get us. You tried to set us.
Yeah.
up. Okay.
Trying to cancel us on our own show? Crazy.
Next one. The Buffet of Goodness. Is this Nikola Jokic or Channing Frye?
It's probably
the Buffet of
sounds
Goodness.
like Channing Frye, to be honest.
That's a lame nickname, so I'm gonna give it to Channing Frye.
The Buffet of Goodness. What does that mean?
Yeah. I feel like you should be a nice round player like Nikola Jokic in order to receive a nickname like that, who does extraordinary stuff out there on the court. But, bro, that's easily Channing Frye. You're not fooling anyone.
This is Channing Frye.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I need to know
nickname.
the origin of that.
Me too. Somebody tell us in the comments.
Was he like that back in the day in order to receive that nickname?
He's never like that. And next one, the Rooster. Is this Danilo Gallinari or Danny Green?
Oh, I know this.
Who is it?
Who you think?
I think
Danilo Gallinari.
Okay, that's what I was gonna go with.
Gallo. Why?
Why?
Oh, why? My bad. I didn't hear you. He had a little like mohawk moment going there for a second. His hair was kind of crazy. That's why. That's the only reason why.
This is Danilo Gallinari.
Thank you.
Yeah. Mention that mohawk. That was easily one of the nastiest haircuts that the NBA has seen over the last 5-10 years. Easy.
Okay, last one. Batman. This is Paul George or Giannis?
I feel like Paul George thinks of himself as a superhero, so he probably calls himself Batman. So I'll give it to Paul George.
Yeah, I agree. This has to be Paul George. This don't fit Giannis and his personality whatsoever. This is definitely Paul George.
Yeah. This is the nickname of somebody who cracks dad jokes. This is Paul George's nickname.
Lame.
Yeah, exactly. That sounds too serious.
Okay, that's great. That's all the nicknames I got.
Fire.
Next thing we're going to do something else that's become a staple of ours. We're going to do a tier list. And this time, we're going to run back something we did, another one we did about a month ago. We did a shoe tier list, and you guys loved it.
Oh, lit.
So we're going to do that again.
Lit.
Oh, Lord.
So I'm going to have a whole new fresh batch of NBA shoes for you. I'm going to put them on there.
Yeah.
No, I didn't put the new Ant-Mans.
No, you need to.
I told him. We should be breaking news.
So, guys, remember, this is purely based off of looks. People like to comment and be like, y'all not hoopers. These have the best friction in the market.
Shut
up.
up.
I don't fucking
Shut
care.
up.
Shut up.
You dweeb. We don't care about,
we all about
about
things that
friction.
don't matter on this podcast. What is wrong with you?
Bro, we are talking about drip and drip alone. I don't give a fuck about any of that.
It's drip or drown over here.
All right. Let's put these NBA shoes into a tier list. First off, iconic cement threes.
10 out of 10. 10 out of 10.
S.
S tier?
S tier.
S. They're classic. Okay. These go well with anything. Throw on some cargos. Throw on some khakis. Throw on some light wash jeans.
Middle school?
These are versatile. Versatile. Are you kidding
Facts.
me?
Yeah, these are one of the few basketball shoes that look good with any outfit.
Yeah, exactly.
They look like
These
lifestyle
these
shoes.
are rotational. Facts, exactly. Rotational. Key rotational piece. You need it. It's foundational.
All right, next one. The PG ones.
Let me see what these.
I'll go first. I love these shoes. That strap in the middle when it first came on the scene back in like 2017, iconic.
Hard as hell.
The whole
This
PG
gives me,
line is
like-
good, but I think they peaked with the first ones.
I'll give these A. They can't be S. They're not as good as Cement 3s.
Yeah, they're not like all-time classics.
Yeah, exactly. But that's because it's a performance shoe. But for a performance shoe, this is damn near an all-time classic in my mind. You may not think so because it's Paul George and he's not an all-time player, you know. But these shoes, one of the greatest things to happen in his NBA career, easily. If you in 50 years from now, you may not remember him as a player, but you definitely remember these shoes, easy.
Listen, we've seen Paul George's playoff accomplishments. This is the best thing he's contributed to the NBA.
Thank you.
Absolutely, he blessed all of us.
A tier. All right, next up, these Giannis Freak 2s. Are these Freak 4s? I think they're Freak 4s.
I have no idea.
Next up,
I mean,
these Giannis's.
They're freaky.
Perfect.
They're freaky for sure.
Yeah. Nah.
The silhouette's cool. This actual colorway is disgusting. But like,
Listen, okay. I know at first glance this colorway is giving Nickelodeon, kind of gives some the Wiggles vibes, but let it sit with you for a couple more seconds. It's kind of hard. I'm not gonna lie.
frat
I
boys
don't
would
even
wear
need a
this
couple
to
of
an
seconds to
IM
sit with
game.
me.
The whole team would have this specific shoe in matching jerseys and everything. I can't.
I
get
like
with
it. I'm not gonna lie.
I can't get with it.
Yeah,
B tier.
this looks like Giannis made a donation to his. This looks like Giannis made a. This looks like Giannis gave a care package to the nearest Dunkin' Donuts to the Milwaukee Bucks training facility. Like, this is just a nasty shoe. This colorway, the designs don't make any sense, bro. The shoe's sexy, but they fumbled this colorway.
What tier are we going? We're going B, C?
B.
D.
B.
Okay, I can live with
the
B.
silhouette is nice.
Okay. These LeBron South Beach 9s.
Listen, you
Man,
want to talk?
so
You want to talk
conflicting.
about something that you can wear with cargo shorts, something you can wear with khakis. This is the one.
If you had these shoes in 2012 when they dropped, you were a middle school celebrity.
Y'all
you
were not
rich.
outside. Y'all were not outside in 2012 when these dropped.
These were so
you don't
hard to
understand
get.
the moment. You don't get it.
Yeah,
Bro, these were so hard to get. These were running you at least $500. They were incredibly hard to get your hands on.
Yeah.
These are up there with like the Galaxy foams. Oh, actually, not that high. But these were Nike basketball shoes were at their peak. People were wearing them for fashion purposes. Can't go back to that time.
Yeah, you were absolutely Mr. Bitches. You got all the hoes around that playground. So if you wore these on your feet, absolutely. Yeah, you were one of the ones I was hating on. But in all honesty, though, like these shoes for back in the day, they were great. They were remarkable. But now looking at them, these are hideous. It's discombobulated. What is going on in this shoe?
Listen, I would never wear them with jeans these days, but I'm gonna give it an A just for nostalgia.
That's tough. We got to be real, and I kind of want to give it a B.
Donovan,
A tier.
let's go.
Wow.
A tier.
I guess you were Mr. Bitches back in the day, Donovan. That's the only reason why it makes sense.
All right, next one. These.
You can't even laugh. If you can't say it without laughing, F tier. F
These
tier.
leaning way of way 10s.
Let me see these. Yeah.
Wait.
Bro,
I can't
these are
do it. I can't do it.
despicable.
I can't
They
do
make
it.
my
Are
stomach
these
turn.
wrestling shoes? What is this?
I don't know. You remember whenever whenever we were younger and you would get bored and you would go on Nike ID and you would just throw colors on the shoe? That's what this is. That's what this is. This is a straight boredom project.
These look like these are what Floyd Mayweather boxes in. These are horrible.
Yes.
This is a
perfect.
boxing shoe. This is a boxing shoe. Wow. Yeah, this is trash.
F tier.
F tier.
Can we go lower than F tier?
Sorry,
Let's make
Dwayne.
a new tier for these. Let's make these a Wade tiers. Garbage.
Yeah.
That's great. That's gonna be a good tier list. The next thing. Let's play a game of 20 questions. We haven't done this in like a month and a half. Donovan's dying laughing
I
over
haven't
there.
done that in a minute. Oh, my God.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, we haven't done 20 questions in a long time. Donovan can't breathe. I
That
don't
was
know why.
so good. That was
Okay.
so good.
So yeah, let's play a game of 20 questions. I'll think of the player because we haven't done this in a long time. Actually, no, I've been hosting everything. Mo, you want to think of the player?
Do I want to think of a player? Yeah. I just thought of a player, but I don't. I gotta look up.
So
Like,
stupid.
I gotta look up like some random thing real quick. I gotta look up his name real quick.
He's in heavens and hell.
Yeah. You guys gotta think like you guys gotta think for real, hella hard. On this.
We haven't done this in a long time, so it might be rusty.
All right, you know what? I'm not gonna do y'all like that. I'm not gonna do y'all like that.
Who are you gonna
All
do?
right. Jared Bayless.
No, you're nasty.
I never would have got Jared Bayless.
I know, sorry. I know. I don't even know why he was in my mind. I'm all right. Yeah, I don't even know why he was in my mind, to be honest.
I don't even know what he looks like anymore.
Yeah, I know. That was my fault. Okay. You got 20 questions to guess the NBA player I'm thinking of.
Is he a current player?
Yes.
All right,
Okay,
I'm gonna
that
guess.
helps.
I'm gonna guess real quick off the bat. Is this Nas Reed?
No. He's a current player. Wait, Nas Reed is a current player. I don't know why, but I thought about Nazir
mix this
Muhammad
up?
when you said that. I don't know what is going on with me.
Nazi Muhammad?
Yeah.
Okay.
Not even close. Yeah, he's a current player.
All right, my bad.
Is he a big man?
Yes.
Is he an
Okay.
all-star?
No.
Is he a starter?
No.
Okay.
Can he shoot?
He was, or at least used to. So I'm just gonna say yes.
A big man who used to shoot.
Did you say is he a starter or not?
No.
Didn't I ask that?
Yeah, you did. He's not.
Oh, not a starter. Okay. Not a starter. He
How many
can't
questions
shoot
that is?
anymore.
3?
That's 6 questions.
Wow.
Yeah,
Y'all are running out of time.
Yeah, we fired off.
That's
Yeah.
fine. Would you call him a good defender?
Yes.
Okay.
Was
A good
he
defender who
drafted?
used to shoot.
Well, okay. I'm just gonna say yes in general to that question. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Was he drafted after 2010?
Give me 2 seconds to research that real quick. I think that gives away like a lot of hints. And yes. Wait. He was drafted. Actually, no. He was drafted before 2010.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, old guy.
Who can't shoot anymore but used to be able to. And he can defend. Is this Serge Ibaka?
Yes. Damn.
Let's go.
Yes. Damn.
Too fucking
Look at
easy.
that. Look at that.
Yeah.
I don't even need 10
slipped up.
questions.
Yeah, I slipped up when I was like, yeah, he shoot, but and then you got me with the defensive thing too. I'm like, yeah, he used to be Serge Ibaka, him, but now he's like clapping his hands on the Milwaukee Bucks bench. So yeah.
Let's do another one of these. Let me think of a player name. These are always fun. Okay. I got it. Y'all got 20 questions. Y'all got 20 questions to guess the NBA player I'm thinking of.
All right. Are they a guard?
No.
Are they over 6'5"?
Yes.
Have they made
Close
an
enough.
all-star team in their career?
Nah, I don't think so.
Can they shoot?
Yeah, for sure.
Cool. They can shoot. Were they a power forward?
No, I wouldn't know.
Okay, so he's a small forward, probably Donovan.
Mo, have we asked if they're a current player?
No. Are they a current player?
He's not currently on a team, no.
So he's
Free
like
agent.
a free agent. Okay. Has he won an NBA championship before?
Has he won a championship? Yeah, he won one back in the day.
Back in the day.
Was this
Damn.
player drafted before, or was this player drafted after 2000?
Yes.
Cool.
Okay.
Was this player drafted before 2010?
Yes, he was.
I'm never going to get this, Donovan. I don't like old players. God.
Was he a starter?
Yes.
Is this Trevor Ariza?
This is Trevor Ariza. That was random. You threw it out there.
How? God.
Nah, we're like
Here we
that.
go.
That's
You just threw a
crazy.
shot in the dark and it hit. What
That's
the fuck?
crazy.
Yeah. I don't know why, but he's just the first person I thought of when it comes to this. Damn, look at me in my bag. That's crazy.
Well, that was wild.
Yeah, we hit that shit in the money. Damn.
We know too much ball for our own good.
Yeah.
Right. Next video. Got all those out of here. We're gonna do a little more of an analysis one, less goofy shit. I'm gonna name an NBA player, and you gotta tell me if they've failed, met, or exceeded your expectations for them.
Okay.
Just in their career. So, has this NBA player failed, met, or exceeded your expectations? First off, Zion Williamson.
He's failed expectations.
Yeah.
He's
got to be, right?
Yeah, he just hasn't been on the court. Like,
yeah.
It's just when you only play 20 games a year, I can't like 100% evaluate you. And you're supposed to come in and be a league MVP. You're supposed to be the face of the league, and you can't even be on the court. So you're definitely failing right now.
Yeah, the type of hype that he was getting out of college was only resembled LeBron James. And when you only play 20, 30 games a year and consistently miss out the most important time of the season, bro, you failed. You're below the expectations.
And it sucks because when he does play, he is the top 15 player he was advertised to be. But it's irrelevant when you're just never available. And then at a certain point, you just can't give him benefit of the doubt until you see him be healthy.
Yeah, exactly. But hey, he could have his Joel Embiid arc of his career and just start figuring out ways to get healthy and building that regular NBA play regimen. But for now, yeah, you definitely failed expectations.
Okay. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander.
Oh, he blew expectations out the water.
Dude, straight through him to the moon.
100% exceeded.
I've always liked him. I can't even say he met him because I never expected him to be a top 15 player in the world. It's crazy what the leap he made this year.
Nah, all NBA first team, all NBA. Nobody
That's
saw that.
crazy.
Nobody saw that coming.
And if you did see that coming, you're a fucking liar. No way you saw that coming this year.
Yeah, exactly. Back when he was in college, nobody thought he was like that. At most, people thought he was an okay point guard, had so many limitations to his game. Folks said that he wasn't athletic. Folks said that he couldn't shoot. Folks said his defense was pretty good, but nothing to absolutely rave about. What did he do good on the court? And now look at him now, bro. Fucking all-star, first team All-NBA.
Ball. They didn't know ball.
Yeah. He's him.
All right, Kevin Durant. Think hard about this one.
I'm going to say exceeded.
Really?
Really?
Or met. I don't know. This is tough.
I feel like it's listen, if you look at everything he's done outside of his days next to Steph Curry, you could say he failed expectations for how good he is. Like he has not had the success that matches the level of talent he has.
If we're going from the beginning of his career, he's exceeded expectations. KD is one of the best players of all time, man. I think that anybody who gets into like the top 20 range of all-time debates, they've exceeded whatever anybody's ever thought about them. However, once we saw that Kevin Durant is Kevin Durant and he's on that trajectory, he's failed expectations.
Exactly. Your expectations change once you realize just how good you are. And at that point, since he's entered superstardom, he has had mostly failures when he's not next to Steph Curry.
Yeah,
Hashtag
that is true. But maybe that's
Steph
because...
way better.
Yeah, that's true. But maybe that's because your expectations for him was too high, and we all should have recognized that, he's him, but, like, you're not supposed to put him in the stratosphere as LeBron James. But at the same time, like, the type of things that he did on the court, he's in that same stratosphere.
Yeah, I mean, you could say he shouldn't be in that conversation now because he's failed so much, but in terms of just talent, if he would have been winning championships by himself, you would have been like, oh, maybe he is in that stratosphere.
Yeah.
But he's not like that.
You're absolutely right. Tough.
Right, next one. RJ Barrett.
Oh, man.
He's failed expectations.
I'll say he met him. I never thought he was going to be like that. I think that he is exactly who we thought he was going to be for the people that weren't high on him coming into the draft. He is the same player. He can't finish well. He can't pass well. He can defend decently well. His shot isn't consistent. He is the RJ Barrett that shouldn't have been drafted top 3 overall.
I told you
What
guys
does
coming
he
into
do?
this season that I thought that he had all-star potential, and that's out the door. I legitimately thought that he could make at least one all-star team in his career.
Crazy.
I don't think that that's going to be the case anymore. So I would say failed, at least for me personally.
Yeah, he failed easily. You already know how I feel. I'm his number one hater over here. Even though I have to give him his respect, he did have like the best series of games that he played in his entire NBA career over the last playoffs. But overall, in the holistic view, he is not him, and he failed.
Yeah, on paper for a top 3 pick, obviously failed. If you're a born hater like me and never believed in him from the start, met expectations.
Yeah, pay attention. As his time has gone on for the New York Knicks, he's been falling lower and lower in terms of importance and pecking order. So he's been getting demoted consistently. Exactly.
Okay, next one, Kawhi Leonard.
Failed.
Failed. Nah, he exceeded.
I think you.
It's the same thing with Kevin Durant. Like Kawhi starts off at a very low point and then he exceeds expectations. But then once you realize that, like, oh, when he's on the court, he can potentially be the best player in the league, but he's never on the floor. He's not available. And so all these things that you want to see Kawhi do, he literally can't. It's the same thing with him and Zion. So he's failed.
I'll say Met just because 2019 did happen, and I think that allows him to coast off of that for a while. The injuries are unfortunate, but we saw what he was able to do when he finally had a healthy run. So I'm going to let him say he met him.
Yeah, I think overall, it doesn't matter. Overall, he started out, he wasn't even a lottery pick back in 2011. He was the 15th overall pick. Anytime you're not even a lottery pick and you're easily Hall of Fame status, bro, and one of the greatest small forwards ever, you've done nothing but exceeded expectations. No one could have seen that coming from miles away.
Yeah. If 2019 never happened, then I could see you saying he failed because he never was able to win when we knew he was good enough to win. But he did it. He had a crazy championship run that resulted in a trophy.
Exactly.
I'm a hate. Last one. Devin Booker.
He's still young in his career, so it's hard, but I'm going to say he met.
I want to say he exceeded. Did you expect him to be the best shooting guard in the NBA, like, easily? I never did.
Yeah, you're right. He was the 12th, 13th pick or something like that. That was never what he was supposed to be.
He didn't start at Kentucky. He was a bench player.
He was off the bench.
He's the best shooting guard in the NBA right now, and it's not close. There's not a real Donovan Mitchell, respect to him, is close-ish, but it's clear who the top guy is.
It's been clear for years.
I'll say exceed. I'll give him that respect. Listen, the last playoff run was insane. He was shooting 80% from the field. He wasn't missing. Every shot he put up, you thought it was going in, and it was going in. And I don't know if we've ever seen a player be that hot for that for that many games in a row. It was insane.
Yeah. Shout out to him for constantly evolving his game and fixing all weaknesses. Improved his defense, improved his passing, and is still efficient from all areas of the court. Easily surpassed.
He is a front runner, though.
Love it.
I have to get that off.
Okay, well, that's all the videos I got today. It's another long-ass podcast. It's late at night. I got to edit this bitch and get it out in the morning.
Kill me.
So that's it, man. That's the episode. What should the people comment? Mo, you choose this time.
Oh.
we have to get on the schedule.
Pay me my money. Pay Mo. You still owe me money. The Hawks make the playoffs.
I've told you plenty of times. You will never see that money in your life.
Not even in installments? Damn.
I will not use Afterpay to give you your money. Get out of here.
If you're still here, comment, Pay Mo. Pay him his money. That's the episode. See y'all later.